Remote Desktop Protocol (RDP) is a feature of Windows that allows you to remotely access and control your computer from another device. It can be very useful for system administration, technical support, and remote work. However, it can also be a serious security risk if not configured properly or protected by strong passwords. Hackers can exploit RDP to access and control your computer and steal your data or install ransomware. They have a few methods of gaining unauthorized access to an RDP server: password spraying. A few common passwords are attempted on millions of IP addresses that have RDP enabled. If any of them work, the hacker can log in as the user and take over the session. Dictionary brute force attacks. Hackers attempt many passwords on a range of IP addresses where multiple RDP servers reside. They use dictionaries of common or leaked passwords, or try variations of usernames and passwords based on information they gather about the target. Exploiting known vulnerabilities. Unpatched versions of Windows contain security flaws that allow for remote code execution among other attacks. For example, BlueKeep is a vulnerability that affects older versions of Windows and allows hackers to run malicious code on an RDP server without authentication. Once hackers gain access to an RDP server, they can do a lot of damage. They can access your files and documents, and copy, delete, or encrypt them with ransomware. Install malware or backdoors on your system to maintain persistent remote access or spread to other devices on the network. Use your system as a proxy or a botnet to launch further attacks on other targets. Monitor your keystrokes, screen activity, webcam, microphone, or clipboard to steal sensitive information or spy on you. Change your system settings, disable security software, create new user accounts, or lock you out of your own computer. As you can see, RDP attacks can put your business at risk of FBI investigation if hackers use your system to commit cybercrimes or breach data protection laws. Therefore, it is important to secure your RDP connections and follow best practices to prevent hackers from exploiting this feature. RDP attacks are a serious threat to any business that uses remote desktop services to manage or access their systems. RDP attacks are attempts by threat actors to access a remote desktop host or client's administrative privileges for reconnaissance, command and control, and lateral movement. With administrative control over a remote desktop system, perpetrators can do anything or access whatever data is available to the administrator or specific end user. RDP attacks can also be used to install ransomware, cryptomining tools, keyloggers, backdoors, and other malware on enterprise systems. How can you protect your business from RDP attacks? Here are some best practices to follow. Limit the use of RDP and other remote desktop services. Only enable them when absolutely necessary and disable them when not in use. Use alternative methods such as VPNs or secure web portals for remote access whenever possible. Increase PowerShell logging. PowerShell is a powerful scripting tool that can be used by attackers to execute malicious commands on compromised systems. By enabling PowerShell logging, you can monitor and audit the activities of PowerShell sessions and detect any suspicious or unauthorized actions. Add time-based locks to accounts. To prevent brute force attacks on RDP services, you can configure your systems to lock out accounts after a certain number of failed login attempts or after a certain period of inactivity. This will reduce the chances of attackers guessing or cracking your passwords. Track domain controllers and active directories. Domain controllers and active directories are critical components of your network infrastructure that store and manage user accounts, permissions, policies, and other information. If attackers gain access to these servers, they can compromise your entire network. You should monitor and secure these servers with firewalls, antivirus software, encryption, and regular backups. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. One of the simplest but most effective ways to protect your RDP services is to use strong passwords that are hard to guess or crack. You should also enable multi-factor authentication (MFA) for your RDP accounts, which requires users to provide an additional factor such as a code sent to their phone or email, a biometric scan or a physical token.